All right, hello. How's everyone doing this morning? There we go. Sorry, just trying to adjust everything. Hold on one sec. Get this moving. Ability. That one time. All right, here we go. All right, so obviously a little bit of a slow morning. Yen is the only thing moving, and we know exactly why the yen is moving. But for the most part, even with some great, some great data out there, some, overall, like soft landings and nothing's going to happen. And, 10, 18, absolutely nothing. -2, nothing, right? Even though we had a great CPI, um, is expected to be good and it was good. Missed it by a little bit. I don't know. They make it green because it's like, oh, that's super strong, but it was already expected to be there. So not a big difference, right? Dollar CAD 20, not really a big deal. 18 on this one, and it's retracing back again. So not a big deal right there, right? US session open. We expect to see dollar strength coming in. Euro pound 2, nothing. So the only thing moving is obviously the pound. I'm sorry, the dollar yen and pound yen. And the reason why, there's a nice little article down here somewhere. I saw it a bit ago. Probably this one. Um, Basically the new pick for the BOJ governor. He doesn't want to kind of change that. He's good with the current playbook for what they have. Doesn't really want to change too much or whatever. And it's expected to be kind of weak. They're hoping with the new guy coming in, they'd have a little bit more of an aggressive stance. Start raising some interest rates maybe. And he's like, nah. I think the current book of doing nothing is great. So yeah, it's considered weak for the yen. They were really hoping there's going to be some changes there. So yeah, nothing crazy there. Pretty much for the day, though. I mean, the CPI is in. We got some economic forecast that came in at 4, and then we got nothing until 9 p.m. Right now, it's kind of just more, you know, I guess it's kind of the Super Bowl hangover. It's funny. Everybody's complaining about the call. The infamous call at the end that basically sealed it. Like, it's a Super Bowl. It's a top level. You're going to call that holding? If you didn't watch it, there's a play like the guy put his hand and they were like, "Oh, he kind of grabbed his jersey." It's like, not really. That's not what they called it on. They called it at the end where he put his hand on his hip, and yeah, it's funny. The people that don't like the Eagles, they're like, "Yeah, that's a penalty," and like some of the news broadcasters, are like, that's a good call. That guy should be, that's hard to throw that one. It's like, it's the pinnacle of the league. Do you let things go a little bit, right? Let these guys play. Like, did it really affect the receiver? Um, when your quarterback was pointing before the ball even got there, they looked penalty. He was looking for the penalty. He wasn't looking for a play. Um, I don't know. I think it's going to be. I think the all the NFL paid experts right now are all like, yeah, that was a good play, trying not to tarnish it. But I think unanimously the comments I've seen are like, yeah, that was bull. I don't even like the Eagles, but that was bull. So tarnished it is. Eh, I don't know. If it comes down to one play, though, I think there's some other things. So yeah, so obviously there's a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover for a lot of people out there. Yeah, and it's a shame that that's all we got for today. There's really nothing else out there. Tomorrow morning we do have some stuff tomorrow morning. Again, not tons, right? Not tons, but enough, right? Enough. Um, Claim account, you know, it's okay, right? It's not That's not the worst of things. And then we have CPI. Okay, so CPI obviously is a big one. As we know, this CPI is not really a big deal, right? Um, Hold on one sec. All right. All right. Hold on. All right. So obviously CPI is big. Again, they're expected to see a big surge and up back to point 0.5 again. And this is one of those things that, yeah, that could weigh on what the inflation rate looks like. Um, I don't know. It's going up again. Everybody took it last time that the problem was solved. They didn't need any more. I'm more curious to see what the year-over-year figure looks like because that's the one everybody's been quoting. Oh, look, it's coming down. It's like, well, no, we're not raising as much as we were, right? That's why this year-over-year is coming down, but it's still elevated. It's not really going backwards. That was the first kind of negative one we got there. But going up point 0.5 again, it's kind of like, does this one jump? Like, again, it's compared to last year where there was some bigger jumps. So I don't know. I think the 6.2 could be a big deal. So overall, I think this could lead to kind of more of a negative day tomorrow. And then obviously the core CPI again, kind of accelerating. We talked about how core is really what we're looking for. Because remember in the beginning, like Bernard was like, the core is what matters, because we know all the inflations and gas and energy and stuff like that. Yeah, it's the core that matters. Well, the core is continuing to raise at a pretty steady rate. And if the overall CPI is going up point 0.5, but the core is going up point 0.4, that tells you we're paying a lot more for goods and services and stuff. So it's great that there's there's a soft landing or no recession. But right now, if it doesn't stop, the recipe is to keep raising interest rates. Eventually, they will kick in. So this is kind of I would say this is a pretty blockbuster thing tomorrow morning. So again, way to play this one would be watch and see what the Europeans do with it. See how they handle it. Where they are kind of pre-positioning. Um, Pre-positioning price, right? Oh, here we go. Hold on one sec. Will disinflation narrative continue? Welcome to side. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I feel like disinflation goes right in there with transitory. We're gonna throw that one right in there. So yeah, so that's what we're looking at over the next 24 hours. I think CPI is going to be an important one. Again, the Fed doesn't really look at it, doesn't really care necessarily as much about CPI, but obviously it's going to come up. You know, is what it is. We're gonna move on. All right, let's go over the chart. So VIX, obviously weekend gap over there. We're sitting high. There's no news today, so there really shouldn't be too much, right, that we see today. It should deteriorate back to the downside. All the indices should be in the green right now. Again, today is not the big day that we need to worry about CPI or anything. That's going to be tomorrow. So yeah, I mean we're again it looks exactly like it should right now. Really, dollar's minus 0.03. Right, we had a little bit of chop. Sunday night was right here. We kind of popped up and kind of touched that gap and kind of pushed higher, and then kind of early morning Europeans sent it right down, and now it's kind of pushing back up again. And again, dollar coming down today. Does that make sense? And I would say overall, yeah, it does. Right. Um, the reason why I would say that it does make sense for the dollar being where it is and coming down today is because tomorrow, if we are expecting that CPI number to be pretty good, you would expect you would expect the dollar to get strength tomorrow with that type of thing. So we would expect it to drop down today. Yeah, I'm looking at this and it's like, I'm not really concerned about that. It hit the 78, so let's pull this one off here. We can run it back the other direction if you really want. And you can see we've kind of hit 1, 2. This is 3, coming back down again. Looks like there's no buyers in this one till. Let's say that's not where it is. 103.46. Hold on a sec. All right. Hold on. Why? No. Sorry, Reese is at the doctor right now, so mom is sending me things back again. I would give Kibate. All right, sorry. Yeah, Reese is. I think I told you guys Reese was sick last week. Had like the 103 fever, whatever. He was feeling crap. We thought he was getting better, and then he was feeling crappy, and then he went to the doctor, and they took Leah took a picture, and Reese's like almost entire throat has is white spots. Um, yeah. So yeah, his negative. I guess he had a negative strep test, but they think it's mono. So like fun on us. We're like, oh yeah, strep, cool. It's not strep. And then Leah's like, yeah, maybe mono. That's one of the things. So Reese is all upset because they're like, yeah, you can't do any physical activity for weeks. And he's like, but lacrosse season. So I give him credit. I'm like, I'm happy that you're upset about missing lacrosse practice, bud. I am. But at the same time, Mammy just got out of cancer treatment, so we do not want to give Mammy mono. That not ideal. So anyway, indices are all in the green as they should be. Commodities all down a little bit. Silver, silver's peaked just up a little bit. I wouldn't say that looking at silver, it's anything we need to be kind of crazy cautious about. Um, I would assume it turns more negative, but I wouldn't say that today is like a major, nothing major, right? Okay, should that be a different checker? All right. So let's just dive right in. Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar, Sunday is sitting right. Where's Sunday? Sunday to Friday is right in here, right? We were looking at target. We talked about being in an area. We kind of had a top and bottom at 69.58, 69.19. You can see Sunday kicked in right here, and we kind of went down and used that level. Did a little bit of a Harry Potter push down to the 78.6, and then rally back up, and we're sitting smack dead in the middle of the zone again. The zone obviously needs to be adjusted because it did break, and again, it gave you the kind of little Harry Potter, but again, typically at 7 o'clock during a Super Bowl, we're not taking Harry Potter trades. It doesn't make the most sense there. So, you know, if we wanted to change this, I think this is a good level to mark off because we've had kind of two touches of it now. If you want to bring this one down, I mean, I guess let's see. Can we get an actual drawing out of it? No, we can't. There, I can do it there. Not that I love that zone, but I would say that this is our kind of top and bottom right now, right? That's fine. Let's go back up to 30 minutes. So we're kind of sitting for these two areas. Now, if we can get up to this level here, now this is a level that we've kind of been tested before right here at 69.60. I'm kind of looking at this one now saying, since the US market is open, if we can rally up to that level, that's not that far. It's only about 16, 17 pips. If we can take that for a 1030 reversal, I think that makes sense. Again, it is dollar strength. Yeah. Hold on. Um, Yeah, so I think that's a decent area for a reversal. Now, again, the drawing this one was a little bit weird. It is two green candles. We're having to use the body on there or the wicks because the body is very very small. It's not a huge level. You're only talking about. It looks big on here, but it's only about 9 pips. So it is a rather small trade. And again, this is kind of more time with a little bit of a reversal here. Now it is a dollar strength reversal, right? And again, we're looking for more. Again, European session. We're looking for more dollar weakness. So this may come up, push down, and then the Europeans can send this back in the other direction. So. Kind of where we're at right now. Aussie yen. Aussie yen continuing to drive. I just talked about how we have the yen, all the yen news. And again, 1, 2, 3. This is hit number 4. Would expect it to break. And it did. It kind of based here and just blew right through it. Pull these off from last week. This one came up 78.6. There's the top. Let's do this from the bottom across right now. Kind of see if there's any interesting levels that pop in. I'd say the 61.8's got some interesting basing there. And also the 23.6. Let's see, from that level of reversal, it's about 50. So this is an area where, again, there is a base, there is one confirmation touch, and it kind of exploded, and then a little bit of a touch right here. I'd say how much more we got for this one? About another 12 pips. There could be a reversal. Again, a lot of the yen movement, I think, is already in. So this could be a potential reversal as well. Again, coinciding with the 1030 profit taking coming in. You're seeing where are we at here? European market is kind of taken off here. So it started late last night again, the Japanese market. But this is a lot of movement straight up. From really where this one turned, you're talking about 133 pips. It's got a 110 daily ATR. So it is beyond. We should see some profit taking coming in, as well as, if we can get some yen strength to roll back in, there's a decent short setup, I would say, coming up right up here. So, now what we don't want to happen is we don't want the base right here and then roll. That would suck, but it happens right there. Okay. Whoops. What happened? put this right there. Okay. All right, euro dollar. All right, so euro dollar. Again, these are from Sunday night. Yeah, Friday. Sunday was right in here. So we were in the zone. So it wasn't a zone we could use as far as the bottom goes. But, we're going to put this down here. We're going to readjust this bottom slightly because we did get a little bit of confirmation touch right there. Let's pull this one off. All right. So we got a level here as well. And again, it's starting to kind of reverse. I would say this would be an area where you'd see and want to see dollar strength rolling back in. Should be there. So it actually did. Oh, it's close. Look at that. There and there. So again, depending on your broker, it's right on. It's exactly where the bid ask. The bid ask spread may not have let you into that one. You may have missed that one. So again, do I like this one? Yeah, I think this one was pretty decent. It's not at a 23 or 50, so you're not going to get any help from any of the short-term traders on that one. But it is an area where there is some confirmation. You may have wanted to shrink this one up just a little bit on this one. So we may say that, hey, listen, we're not quite there yet. Depending on where, that's only 7. It's only 9 pips. I feel like you had to take that one from there. The drawing is off on this one because it's just wicks. It's just the wick is what the problem is. It's 1 to 306. Yeah, it's a pretty good place. So yeah, again, U.S. session rolling in on a Monday. We expect to see dollar strength to come into the market once the U.S. trader gets online. So kind of makes sense with this one. You may be in this one right now. Again, we get the 1-to-1, move your stop loss to break even, lock that thing in. Obviously, don't take any risk on that one if you don't need to. Now, euro pound. So euro pound, we're at minus 0.17. You can see in 24 hours, it's moved -2. All it's doing is kind of going up and back. Here, this is where we were Friday. We kind of went up. Sunday kicked in right here. Kind of went up, grabbed that zone that we had marked off, and then kind of just pushed back down. And we're bouncing off the same bottom. You could absolutely draw a bottom down here and say, yeah, that makes sense that it's right there. All it's doing is kind of equalizing. I think both places are fine. Again, we were looking originally for 88.07 down here for the news tomorrow morning, right? And again, this is claim account on the unemployment rate. It's fine. If it continues to deteriorate, that's the narrative we talked about on Friday. So I think there's not really much to say about this one. There's no real entry in there. Could there be, let's see, is there a short-term trade involved in this one? Nah, there's not. I'm trying to see if, again, this was at a 23, but it's a little bit deep than that. So, nothing you can really trade on that one. We're still looking for the 88. Again, we'd like to, keep those UK, right? The Royals, pom-poms on. Let's get this down. How far does it need to move? 36. Yeah. Yep. Also, be aware too, euro pound. We don't take a lot of trade setups off of it. You have something like the euro dollar. It's got a 90 something plus ATR. Euro pound only has a 55 plus ATR, and it's kind of shrinking right now. So it's not as good. But again, I like this level. It's got to move about 40, so it would need to continue to deteriorate throughout the day to get down there. Again, this may move in the Asian session, right? The Asian to European session is not as good of a telltale sign as the European to US session, but it can be. So we'll see what it does. I wouldn't take another long off this level. This is a kind of a interesting base, and it wasn't the first time, and then we pushed it pretty deep again. So it should come down. There's not a Harry Potter trade or anything like that in it, but look for a bounce off of again 88.07. Euro yen. Again, yen play. We know exactly what's going on. We had this 141.50, and look, it based right before, and then look at that. It just got stuck, right? Stuck. Which again, I wouldn't have once this base was formed here. I wouldn't have been looking for the short. It's like, nah, just put buyers in. It didn't even need the buyers, but it came up in base there. So, yeah, it would have been a great little trade setup, but not obviously in a Sunday night scenario. I think on this one, still wait. We are obviously coming up to that 7-8-6. There is a level that you could arguably say, hey, listen, there's an area of shorts right there. Again, if we see the yen strength profit take / it's not really strength, but the yen profit taking coming in that we saw in the Aussie dollar, or obviously the Aussie yen, we're kind of in the same spot. I don't, again, I don't like the 7-8-6 in currencies. Some people do. It is right there. There is a push off of it. So, if you remove the 7-8-6, you could look at this level and say, hey, listen, that was a good takeoff point, right? There's no way to deny that. It technically hasn't hit it yet, but if it front runs on this one, I actually wouldn't be surprised. But it's there, right? It's a legitimate sell zone. and it happens to be with the 786. I just don't like the 786 trades as much, but it's there. It looks just like the Aussie yen. So if you're looking for something, maybe, and again, it's right at 140. I mean, the 142 mark is right there. So you can see the 142. It went to 142.02. Why is that 02 important? Because the spread is 1.8. Right? The spread is 1.8, meaning you would have got in if you used the actual 142 whole number. Right? It would have looked like, oops, not that one. It's this one. Trying to get it dead on. Right? It would look something along those lines. Can I change it? Risk. No, price. Oh, I can. Here we go. There we go. There we go. So, all right. Again, did not hit the zone, did not hit the 78.6, but the 142 kind of like makes it in the same area. And again, it's the same yen strength we were talking about. Now, pound yen. So pound yen, we had Friday into Sunday. We were sitting down in the zone, and again, 1, 2, 3, we weren't interested in holding it anymore. And you can see it kind of went lower and then went lower again. So it's pushing, it's pushing farther down. Right now, let's see. We'll remove this. Right, we don't need that anymore. I think this one's gonna have a little bit harder of a time. It looks very similar to what we saw, right? And we know that we got an area of sellers right here. It's not really in an area. Let's see. Is there a fib? Is there a reason for fib wise? Yeah, there is a 61.8. So again, looks much like this, much like the euro dollar. Again, looking for some type of reverse around 121.27 or 121.28. For that close, let's just make it 121.28. You have a 61.8. You have the near term people taking Friday's high to the morning low today. It is a confirmed level of basing around the 71.8. It is 16 pips worth of risk, so it's small. It's small for this pair. And again, it is coinciding with a 1030 reversal. So again, there's no news today to really change this besides some headlines. But right now we're seeing again that dollar weakness go in, right? That dollar weakness finds those buyers. Every single one of these trades reverses and flips to the downside. So we're seeing the same kind of narrative. Now again, not the first hit. It's already been hit once, kind of a level here, and again, it just is what it is. Pound yen. Obviously, this didn't hold. Again, it was yellow for a reason. Let me take this off. There's our Sunday. We know why this is going up. Obviously, this is a yen play. Kind of the same thinking. There's an area right here. There's a test of it right there. It is the 78.6, which again I don't like, and we're hitting the 78.6. So, kind of looks like a lot of the other ones. With if the yen is going to reverse at all, this is the area where we should technically see that reversal coming in. Question is there enough profit taken now that the U.S. market is live again? Okay. Of all of them, though, I think I like the euro yen better. I mean, this one's not bad. It barely touched and shot, and it is the 78.6, so it's there. It's not a round number, right? We're at 160, 62. I think the 142 is a better number. It's all right. I don't like the way that this chopped and then pushed all the way back. So I mean, it did hit, but I don't know. Like I said, if this was like the 61.8, I'd be much more into this one. But it's all right. It's all right. Reese is the um um Reese is the bigger of the two twins, and he's probably losing weight too because he's only eaten Vietnamese pho for the last like couple days because it makes his throat feel better, and mom is indulging him. He's they had to draw blood. He doesn't like his blood, so she said that he is hysterical crying. His blood was taken like 20 minutes ago, and he's hysterical crying still. And she's worried that the pediatrician's going to kick them out because the big kid is scaring all the little kids. This is why Leah takes him because I don't like blood either. So, but anyway, there's your pound. There's your pound yen. It's set for reversal just like everything else. Don't like the zone as much. I like the euro yen better. Dollar CAD. All right, so dollar CAD. So we were looking for this last week, Friday, and then it's 9:30. We got a little bit of a pop. This one made it to, again, the 11, 12 o'clock candle is where this one turned. This got to 2.08. So probably on this one, you probably ended up banking a little bit down here, right? Again, you weren't holding it over the weekend, but when you're at 1 to 2, you're obviously don't have your stop loss on, right? You're moving your stop loss, you're trailing it. So you probably got stopped out with a little bit of a profit on this one. You always like to see more, but again, that's Friday. That's why we don't hold things past noon. And maybe it got to the 1 and the 2 and you pulled that trigger, or when it started to pull back again. When this green pulled back up, you may have been like, yep, that's it. If it rolls back at all, I'm taking myself out. So it's obviously over now. And again, there's your 1, there's kind of a 2. And then this chop right here, you're like, it's not holding again, right? It's not holding again. Get out. And once you saw this, he's like, yeah, we're done. It's smoked, right? There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Again, there's a bunch of candles, but even if you count this as 1, this is 2, the third is what broke, and you had this touch. So again, Friday, you're not trading in the afternoon. At 2 o'clock, it would have came back down and stopped you out. So, yes, it sold off because of news, right? It turned down from the previous one, right? Yep. I skipped the news because the true reversal of 7 hours, 8:30. Very characteristic. Would have been a good news setup here. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a good news setup. Yeah, right, because this had already broken, so you weren't worried about buyers here, right? And we expected the data, like the data was kind of somewhat expected. Um, so yeah, it was a good news trade. After that, you really weren't looking for much, because it was Friday. So yeah, yeah. And again, Jeff, if you're gonna do that, Friday is the day to do it. You know, like I said, part of the thing that particularly with currencies too. Remember, the way we trade, using supply and demand, we're using big money, right? We're not using big money. We're using our trades are set off of what big money is doing. You're looking for big movers, and again, this is not a tiny market. This market dwarfs the stock exchange, right? It's huge, right? I think it's close to 7 trillion now. It's big. It increased over COVID, and then once all the currency, once all the crypto people kind of got blown out, they all went back into currencies again. Um, because being an electronic product, right? Um, Friday, there's nobody left besides the United States after 11 o'clock. So you want to strike fast on Fridays and then be done. I know some people are like, "Oh, it was trading this afternoon." Like, why are you trading 2 o'clock on a Friday? Who the heck's in the market at 2 o'clock on a Friday, right? Nobody, right? Nobody. So again, great news trade, right? But after that, pretty much done. So dollar CAD, where do we go with right now? It looks like it's on its way down. Well, again, this was what we're looking for. Again, this would have been a target from the original news. There's a little base right there with a nice push up, and that's kind of what it ran off of. Um, hmm, it's a little bit far. 14. It's a little bit far. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean that's like I said, you saw the volumes in currencies go down. So currencies were always getting over those things that people are like, oh, it's a lot riskier. It's not riskier. I mean, it's a much safer market than the stock market. Um, just by the way the accounts are set up with the clearing and everything. It has a bad reputation because if you don't know what you're doing, you can lose money fast, right? Um, and it's funny the people that say they're like, "Oh, currencies is risky," but then they'll trade futures, which is even more insane, right? Futures is you can absolutely get all kinds of crazy margin calls and stuff like that. Futures you can lose a lot more money way faster. But currencies because you can use small amounts, people will like not take it seriously, right? You can have little tiny accounts. People are like, yeah, if I lose it, it's education, whatever, right? You can't trade little amounts in futures. I guess you can now with some of the micro, but again, that was the worst thing the futures could have ever done. Um, but like once crypto was kind of like, oh, we can't go over here. I still want to be engaged, right? Okay, come over. The reality is now they're all even stocks now. Not that they're any less risky, but now that you can buy fractions of a share, it does become um, more accessible, right? Um, before it was like, well, I can't buy many shares. I'm going to buy one share. So how much money am I going to make off that one share, right? Now that you can buy fractionals, people can still get involved, right? And then the idea was, oh, we'll do, Currency does it, so let's go down and do small things for futures. There's a lot of inherent dangers with futures. And when you put less money on the line, when you open up very, very smaller accounts, people are less educated. They treat it more like gambling. You can get yourself into some major trouble there, right? With futures. Um, you know, if they're less educated, do you want them to deal with contract rollovers and understanding, that kind of stuff? No. There's more chance for people to lose money over there. So I'd say on this one, could it potentially bounce off the 133.30? Sure, it could. Problem with this one is we're seeing dollar weakness right now. We're also seeing CAD weakness. And again, the data this morning doesn't really justify either one of the two currencies. I don't know. Maybe it's the aliens, right? Maybe the aliens are affecting this one, right? Over the weekend, the U.S. shot down a third and a fourth unidentified flying object. They were talking about this morning that they've not, I guess, asked if it was aliens. One of the government, somebody in government said, we're not ruling anything out. Instead of saying no, they just said we're not ruling anything out. So, aliens, guys, the aliens are coming. So I still I think I don't know on this one. I still think we wait to 133. With all this over here, there's not really a great zone. Great target, but we've already hit it again. I don't know if we can use it again. I don't necessarily love it. Let's see. Did people get in? Yeah. I wish I had more on this one, but I don't. I think we'll wait till it come down. This is just too grindy. Like I said, great target, not a good entry. No great zone below it. It's just chop, 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 chop. And then we take a little bit of a push, but again, 133 is there, and then just chop, 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 chop all the way back down. So yeah, I don't really love much in this one. I mean, I guess the only thing we could use is you could look at this one and say, hey, listen, we've been up to this area many times, right? There's the original zone. We've touched it, we touched it, we touched it again, touch, 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 racetrack. So if we start to reverse back up again and the dollar strength comes in, there's your 1 to 3. There's nothing there. It's one big candle. So I'm going with spy balloons. If aliens, we wouldn't be here today after shooting down stuff. Yeah. Probably, yeah. I'm assuming that it is, but somebody's like, well, are these so what they were asking today was, are these just, they're weather balloons right now. One of them is in the Yukon, which somebody's got to go get, which I think is fine. And they were saying that the other one is in Lake Huron or whatever. And they're going to send divers to go get the wreckage. Somebody was like, are these just tests for something more sinister, or are they spy equipment? Right? I think the idea is, are these tests for something potentially more sinister? Yeah. I don't personally, I mean, again, I'm not wearing tinfoil, guys, just so everybody knows. Right? I don't think China is planning a US invasion, right? But could they disguise these as weather balloons and test the capabilities so they do have another, arrow in their quiver? Sure. That I could definitely believe. Right? Yeah, that I could absolutely believe. Right? And how much does each one of these Sidewinder missiles cost? Right? Because again, the United States right now, man, we are fueling the defense industry, right? We've given how many $billion worth of weapons to the Ukraine, and we said we will just keep giving them free weapons for everyone, right? And we're going to send free weapons to Taiwan, but Taiwan will be gone before we can get them any weapons. Yeah, and now we're just shooting missiles at everything. So, yeah. I just changed our detection settings. My guess is business as usual, just surveillance, not Red Dawn. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Jeff, think about it. If you could send a weather balloon and be like, this is a new surveillance thing, it costs us almost nothing. We don't have positioned satellites, and we can just blame it on it's a private weather balloon. Sorry, guys, we screwed up, right? I mean, we're not going to World War III over a weather balloon, right? Even though if they done screwed up, right? And honestly, what are we going to do? We're not going to do anything, right? We're just going to keep shooting it down, right? Yeah. So again, nothing really in dollar CAD. Don't really necessarily love it. Dollar Swiss, even with the news today. And again, that's good data for the Swiss. You're seeing the dollar Swiss down 28 right now. Again, with the dollar weakness, it kind of makes sense. It did rally up. Again, here's the news. kind of rallied up and just continued to push down. Now, let's delete this. Didn't get to the 78, but it was close enough. Let's pull this off. And again, there's the news. What happened? They drove the price down before the news. The news came up and popped it up, and then continued it to the downside, right? So again, little telltale sign. Even though it was Swiss strength, why did we see the pump up? Because everybody was trying to sell it. So it was literally dead on. I will say there is a zone sitting right in here. It is a confirmed zone. We're kind of sitting there right now. Kind of meets the narrative we're seeing in the other pairs with the dollar reversing right now. We are living in a paranoid era. Yeah. Ernest, yes and no. I mean, I don't doubt. I mean, like I said, I don't doubt they're looking for cheap alternatives to. I mean, again, how much does it cost for a weather balloon versus a satellite, right? I mean, if they can do something high orbit and send 100 balloons over, are we going to shoot that? Are we going to spend if they can build a weather balloon that does this stuff for $1,000 to scare us, and we're going to spend $5,000, shoot a $5,000 missile at it? I feel like it's a good economic resource for them, right? Go low tech, right? Go low tech. Yeah, no. Like I said, if it was one balloon, you could say that if you're concerned, it's paranoid. When it's 4 balloons in a week, I feel like there's probably something else there, right? I think they're just poking the bear. I just think they're just screwing with Biden. Hey, dude, you're not doing anything. You're whatever. We're just keep sending stuff, right? So again, dollar Swiss. Am I interested in getting in a position here? No. Do I do think it's an area where a potential reverse is coming? Yes. It's 10:30 right now, or it's 10:13. It's close to reversal time. We've seen the same area where the dollar's coming back up again. If we look at the Dixie real quick, you can say, is the Dixie an area? Not quite. It's close. A little bit more weakness in there. We're sitting right at that 123. There was a level. So again, with the U.S. trader, could it artificially turn a little bit early? Sure, it could. So we're pretty close. I mean, it's all the same narrative, right? Again, we're not quite there yet. The dollar goes down just a little bit, finds those buyers. Again, that's the exact same thing it does here. We're just drawing this off the test, and you can see based off where the test is, it's just a turn right there. Reminds me of NASA inventing a zero gravity pen at likely great cost. Soviets just use pencils. Yeah, Jeff, exactly, right? Right? Yeah. Yeah. We need to spend how much money on this pen so we can use it? Yeah. Wax pencils, right? Wax pencils work just fine. They can even erase them, right? Yeah, it's hysterical. Yeah, I don't know. It's you read this stuff out there, and I'm like, I don't know. I hope when the COVID thing happened, I was like, you know what? I hope they're telling us this stuff because they don't really want to tell us the truth, right? Like, they're like they're lying to us? Yes, are they lying to us because we're panicked? Like, will we have mass panic, right? If they tell us the actual truth, things that like again. Do you believe that presidents see things that they don't share with us? Yes. I'm pretty sure that they see things. So for us to be a Monday morning quarterback, right? And be like, he's just an idiot. No, does he probably have data that we don't have? Probably. I would put it this way. I would hope so. I would hope that he sees things that we don't see, right? Right? That's kind of like the ignorance is bliss, right? I would assume that's true, right? But at the same time, they make some of these decisions, and you're like, right, right. Like again, should we have stopped the Ukraine invasion? If we call it invasion, should we have stopped it and said, if you send a tank, we're sending a tank? Yes, we should have, right? Again, Ukraine is universally acknowledged as their own country. Is Taiwan? No, they are considered Chinese territory. So for us to go in there, that basically, according to most of the world, that basically says that we are going onto sovereign land owned by China. They are not apples to apples. They are apples to oranges, you know? So, yeah, a little different. But magically, we're like, hey, we will defend it to the last person. Really? We didn't defend the Ukraine to the last person? Huh. Interesting. Nor did the world. Kind of interesting how that, happens. But hey, when Trump went after China, it was a bad thing, right? He's a jerk. He's xenophobic, right? But now we're shooting balloons down. Yeah, dollar yen. So dollar yen, we're up in the same area. We have an area right here. We know if it goes much higher, we are clear. But the European session, here you go. Look, here's Sunday, right? Sunday has had quite a run. It was a gap down and done nothing but straight up 176 pips. It's got a daily ATR of 171, so we are a little bit past. It is at a time where you would expect to see a reversal. And again, right now this one's kind of weird. It's a dollar and the yen. You're like, wait a second, dollar strength's coming back in, but yeah, there's also yen profit taking coming in this one, so we should see some yen strength. So if we have dollar weakness and yen profit taking, this one turns and rolls back down again, and it's hit, it's hit, it's hit. We do know we have a Harry Potter above, right? We've mentioned this before, right? A break above. We know we got a Harry Potter sitting kind of right here, right? So if that dollar strength does come in right now, the narrative is also to the upside. And again, that's why we had this one drawn as far as this goes. So again, a hit, a hit, a hit. There's 3 hits of that zone. It should absolutely blow itself up right now, right? Everything else out there as a dollar strength is coming in. If it comes through, boom, right? Boom. We should be to go higher on this one. So kind of set up. Again, cryptos are down. Right. They're still holding firm above that 20,000. So 20,000, close to 15 up here. I think we're going to hear a whole lot less about cryptos from now on. I think there is about to be some major regulation coming for these. I don't know if you guys have been watching the Jake Paul, the crypto zoo stuff, right? Now that there's actually class action lawsuits and people going to there, you're going to start hearing about it. Everybody's getting sued that had anything. I think once there's a legitimate court case where someone got dinged, I think people really start trying to disassociate themselves with anything crypto related whatsoever. And when you see the amount of scams that have come out of crypto, I think it starts getting dumped. Even if it gets legitimate regulation to it, I think people are going to start distancing and going farther and farther and farther and farther away from it. I think its time came and went. TLT, a little bit of a pop, but again, it was down from last week, so nothing crazy there. Oil. So there's an oil trade from Friday, right? Again, this one was out at 8, never came back up again. A little bit of a sell right here, right? Nice little pop here from Friday into Sunday, right? There was the gap and kind of pushed back down again. It turned where it kind of should have, right? It should have been, it told us there was buyers here, and it hit those buyers and came back up. Right now, I look at this and say, hey, listen, we got a lot of basing going on. And again, if you wanted to box it off right there, you can say, hey, it's pretty decent. Could we potentially have a more of a short in here? I'd say probably, but nope, not that color. Wrong color. One sec. Probably there. 1, 2, 3 is right there. It's a little bit deep. I don't really want to move it up there, but I guess I could. It's the same risk level. It's a little bit. I think this one's a little bit deep. This one's a little bit deep, but I think we're shooting for 77.50 on this. If we can come through and break, I would say there's probably an oil short later on today. We get a break of that 78.55. That's probably where we're looking. All right. Yeah, I think we're probably good on that one. Now, natural gas. Friday, and there's our Sunday, right? Remember we talked about, again, taking these short, starting off pretty good so far. So right there's your Sunday. We're down 17 already, right? So again, we drove up at the end. I was like, gotta get short. I'd say right now, again, we've got to look for is let's bring this down a little bit. And I would say right now, target to the downside again. We're really trying to fight and we're struggling here, right? We went down, we pulled back up again, ran to those sellers. Fight, and it's kind of consolidating. But I think 236 is really what's on our radar before tomorrow morning. This has been an area where it's been like clink, 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 and clink a few different times. So, nope, can't take that one. Yeah, I mean, it's already been a big move. We don't want to start selling it right now, but it is definitely struggling. There are sellers in. There's consolidation coming in natural gas right here and right here. And again, I like this low, man. I'll be really excited when we get down to 2 on this one. It didn't do it last week. It disappointed me. It found that bottom on Thursday and then kind of rallied back up on Friday. And then Sunday night we opened high and we're already started that kind of downward push. So, yeah. And again, a couple ways you could have taken it. I mean, there's the easy one, right? There's the easy one. For that 7:30 time window. So, yeah. Now, if it does come down to 236, I'm not interested in a buy there. That is definitely not a buy scenario for me. Yeah, no. Again, I think this is coming down. And again, 1, 2, there's 3 touches right there, and it was 4. Look, 1, 2, 3, and there's 4. Yeah, I'm not holding. That's a target. Right, there's a target right there if you are short, But again, do not take a buy off that one. Gold, really just chopping, right? It says that it's down right now, but is it really? Not really. I mean, there's a zone sitting right there. That one was touched on Friday at midnight. We popped up. We talked about two different levels. At 9 o'clock, it tagged the front run, and all it did was bounce back and forth. So, do I think it holds here? No, not really. I do think this is one of those ones to mark it off. Right now, with gold deteriorating down, I think everybody's looking at tomorrow's CPI, and they're looking at this and be like, oh, Jesus. You know, it just justifies them raising interest rates even more. So I do think this one comes lower. What I really like to see to set up a trade tomorrow morning is this to right there. Right, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this magic zone from here to here. Right, there's our whoops, not green. European Open. If we can punch through, we can start basing or punching through, and then we pull back. Right, if we punch down and then pull back to that level, I think it's a great short. Right, I think that'll be a 1850, 1851. I think it'd be a great short if they gets much lower. So yeah, we'll go with that one. But like I said, I think again, I said negative for the week for both these, particularly with that CPI number, and I stand with that one. Silver, again, chopping. You can see we're really into this one, the 22 mark again. And all we did again early, we found Thursday morning or the Thursday night, Sunday night we at the same spot we found it again and again. But look at this, look, right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it should not hold anymore. We should push down again. The two levels, 2150 and then 21 are the two big ones. You can mark off the same thing here. Oops, where is it? There and there. Same thing we're looking for, right? See what they do. Ideally, I mean, I don't know where it's going to end today, but if we can get like that, I think that's awesome. This would be like kind of like best case scenario, right? There'd be my best case scenario for tomorrow. See, that's what I'm looking for, right? That's what I'm looking for. Let's go check out. That's commodities. Let's go see what the indices. Again, they're all in the green. They should all be in the green. Nice little pop. Let's see if there was any entries at the open today. Fortunately, it was not tested. Well, it's not true, I guess. There's your confirmation at 8:45. Yep, 9:30. It was. I was wrong. There, and your 1 to 3 is boom, 3.04. You are out. So there you go. Monday morning. There's one. Right, there's one. Basing overnight confirmation. Number 2. Ooh, this one ugly. So we've got here 9:15. There's nothing there. There's a base, but nothing's confirmed off of it. Yeah, there's no confirmation on this one. The last confirmation is until like over here, and this was, I guess it's in the overnight, but it's there, that old level there. That's where the confirmation is, right? Top side again, not interested in taking this, right? 1, 2, 3. This should have broken. It did, so not an entry for a short. There's a level up here, but again, not really. There's where your confirmation occurred. But yeah, so no entry on NQ. YM, let's see what we got here. Nope. The most recent confirmation would have been there. 2, 3, no. Yeah, there's no selling there. YM looks like it got some room to go. Great level. Let's pull some of these old ones off. There's a nice little pop there. We can pull that and that and that. And out. Pull this. Pull this. That was out. Pull that. That would be an interesting spot if that's where it turns. But yeah, I mean, right now, I don't think this one's slowing down. There's nothing over here. Again, it'll start having some problems at 34,211, but it's got some room to run, right? Yeah, you're seeing the biggest swing. But as far as opening print goes, opening print actually kicked in right here, right? It pulled back, but it didn't confirm. The confirmation kicked in here. You would have missed it. So I'd love to tell you, like, yeah, look at all the guys we got. No, we can adjust it now to that level, but we couldn't this morning. So looks like only one so far. Whoa, what the heck is this? 930, 915 is green. So I mean, technically, your 915 was green. It was looking for a short, and it just collapsed down, but it didn't really do much. I guess we would have had a confirmed level there, right? Problem is on this one, had you looked at to take this one, like, there's a lot of conflicts on this one. So this is a good one, right? The 915 is green, right? So again, you were kind of looking for a short, but the short wouldn't have coming up here, and there's no confirmation on that, right? So you weren't really looking for the short. The problem is, right? If you're looking at that level, if you're looking for this as the confirmed level for the long, which again I don't think is a bad idea, right? Problem is you only had this much space before you hit the top. So you had a 1 to 1.7 or 1 to 1.8. Actually, I guess it's right there. 1.8. So you didn't really have enough for a 1 to 3 distance on that one. If you were just going to say, I don't care about that, I'm going to use the 1 to 3. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you use this level as a kind of like an options based entry, you could have taken that one sure up. But again, if you had taken it futures, you would have got stopped out on that one because it went to the farther test down here. It went down to this confirmation, right? It went down to that confirmation. So, um, in doing your due diligence, that not a good trade. If it comes all the way down and clears up, oops, sorry. It's like, wait, why is that like point 0.4? Um, your 1 to 3 is right there. So that's perfect because this is if you had to draw this one and say, okay, well, there's where I got to watch out for, right? I'll change it to purple. When price was there, you can say, okay, what do we got, right? This, not enough room because you ran in the purple level. This, confirm level, 1 to 3 was right where that zone was. That was good, right? So again, a little bit more complicated. So that was kind of a good one to show this morning. There's kind of our education for this morning. Um, and I hope you guys understand it, right? In looking at these things with the green candle, you were kind of looking for a short, but at the same time, it didn't pull back to a confirmed level, so we couldn't take a short out of it. We did have a confirmed level below, which would have been a great level, but where we were doing the basing right there, you didn't have room before it ran into a 1 to 3. So because the trade setup wasn't there, you couldn't take in it. A lot of people are like, well, I don't want to go down there. How did you know it was going to drop? I didn't know it was going to drop. But looking at the next confirmed level in here, like this one, not really. And I guess you could have used that one, but this is the next clean confirmed level. And this was from Friday, and it confirmed late last night at around 10 o'clock, right? That one did have enough 1 to 3 before we had a zone on the top side, right? Because if it cleared down, we are good. So again, harder trade. So I'd say 2 out of 4 of these were good. This one you need to be a little bit more advanced with it. But overall, considering it's a super flat morning, they're doing what they should be doing. They should be grinding higher. So, and like I said, I think overall today is for me a green indices day, just because tomorrow I think it's going to be red. If this comes in at 6.3 or 6.4, again with this 0.5 being a big jump, yeah, I think that's again depending on what you want to look at. I'm looking at the monthlies because every time these monthlies increase, it just means it's getting higher and higher and higher, not the opposite direction. So the year over year doesn't really matter to me. So, all right, that's it for today. Let's go ahead and do the drawing. All right, what are we missing here? Will's here, but I know Will's not in. Nora, Eki, Debbie. Yeah, Well, I know you're here. You just subscribed again. Thank you, sir, for subscribing. Jeff is in too. Is Will asleep at the wheel today? It was Ernest on Friday, but then he said that, no, I meant to do that. I'm not going to mess with the, not going to mess with the Friday charm, right? Hold on one sec. Wait. No. Yeah. Sorry. We messaged the school. So we messaged the school, and we're like, yeah, he may have mono. We're getting him tested. Should we send him if he doesn't have a fever? I'm like, I don't know if they're going to allow him to go to school with suspected mono because we don't know. I don't know. I don't know how the nurse takes that one. I haven't received a response. I was like, what? So, yeah, I thought it was the nurse responding back, but it wasn't. It was Leah's message. So, yeah, so that's our fun. All right, so that's it for today. Let's go ahead and draw the winner. Winner of today's drawing is... Look at that. On a Monday. Consistent with the bookends. Telling you right now, consistent with the bookends. Friday, Monday, watch out. Watch out. All right, that's it for today. Again, tomorrow morning, the claim account should start to pound off early. And again, this should dictate what happens, particularly with the euro dollar. I'm sorry, the pound dollar. Today is Monday, right? Yeah, it is, unfortunately. We're back Monday. And I only say that because I'm already tired and it's Monday, and I know it's going to be a tiring week. But Melissa's back, so that's why I didn't have to get today, so I'm good with that. But again, the 8:30 tomorrow morning, absolutely look for the European session. Again, there's the potential for some big reversals. Pound dollar in particular. Pound dollar skyrockets up. That's exactly what we want to see, because then it will turn and roll back down again with good CPI data tomorrow. So it's set up for a perfect morning. Why is Eki on the board on Monday? Eki wins. Eki's good Monday, Friday, right? Eki has a hard time winning Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Everything else is there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get an idea for the next couple. I think it's gonna take a couple days. I think by Wednesday they'll have the blood test back. I don't know if they come back today. It's like, yep, it's definitely mono. He can't do any physical activity. He's gonna be pissed. It'll be a rough day for Reese. So, but yeah, I told him like, hey, bud, I know your mom's getting you foot every single day. I'm not. I can't. Like, we're not. I'm not going every day. This is not. So, anyway, I'm out of here. You guys have a great day. Let's see if we can get some of this yen reversal coming in here a little bit. And again, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thanks again, and I'll catch you then. Take care.